Welcome to episode 2. I'm joined with Andrew. What's up, Andrew?
What's up? How's it going?
A- And we've got Adam, too, also known as Adam
Hello.
Jr. over here. And then myself, Adam. We've got a lot of news to talk today. We had a massive card show that we went to. There's a lot to talk about with this card show because I would say like 4 or 5 things on top of my mind, from attendance to sales to like entry price, etc. There's a lot of like stuff to go through. We also discovered that we got scammed, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. And there's some scandals in the industry. You know, we picked up some cool cards. Lots of stuff going on this week. So let's
Yep.
jump into it. The card show. The card show was a 3-day event, and they claimed about 300 tables. Adam, why don't you give us a rundown? How did you think the card show went? Was it bigger, smaller, general? Just give us a rundown.
So going into it, I assumed it was going to be like a pretty big event. You know, lots of people coming in because they brought in a bunch of actors from like old TV shows and a lot of football players too. So in my head, I was thinking, wow, I need to pack as many cards as possible for this because I expected like hordes of people. But really, it was kind of dead. It was kind of dead. It was a 3-day event. It was dead basically all the days. There was some waves here and there on Sundays and Saturday, but I mean, yeah, it was kind of disappointing. We did make enough to pay for the table and a little bit of extra to make it worth it. But yeah, overall, it's kind of just a disappointment. There was mostly just like vendors buying from each other that was happening, and which wasn't too bad because we got rid of a lot of our sealed stuff that we didn't really want anymore. And we still gained a profit on it too, since we kept it for like a good few months. But other than that, you know, it's kind of a letdown. Yeah. What do you think, Andrew?
I thought the show went great. I mean, it wasn't not many people, but we came in there with $1,000 in cash, and we came back with over $4,000 afterwards, after the fact, and a bunch more bigger cards in inventory. We moved on from a bunch of the sealed products that we kind of want to move on from. We made a lot of new connections, made a lot of new people. I think it went pretty good for that. Other than like people, like of course we wanted to be more busier, but being able to make those connections and get offload a lot of that stuff and still come out with a couple thousand profit, I think it's pretty solid. Maybe not profit, but still,
Yeah, definitely not profit on that. Like, we definitely turned some inventory over. My problem with it, I had a ton of fun. Like, honestly, it was just fun doing the show. So I think no regrets there. My problem with the entire thing is we paid $300 for the table, and then they had a $25 entry fee. I think that was actually bad for us. And we talked to a lot of other vendors. Like Friday, there were people very frustrated. Saturday, there were people frustrated to the point where they said they weren't even going to come back Sunday. So then we dropped people on Sunday. And then Sunday, like, was way deader than I was hoping for. But we did make some good deals. We got some cool things. I picked up some cool things for my personal. We did some deals. Andrew actually worked a lot of deals with other vendors. So that ended up being good. Overall, I think it was a positive, but it really did kind of irk me to know that it was a $25 entry fee. And thinking back on it, you know, we had a goal of about $10,000 is what we were hoping to sell. We did not meet that goal, and I was really disappointed in that. But at the same time, you can't fault it. Like, we did move some inventory, made some good deals, made some good relationships, but the entry fee, what do you guys think? Like, just put yourself like into the buyer. Would you pay $25 to enter this card show?
Would not, definitely would not. I mean, I might do it depending on if I really if I'm really into the actors or football players that are there, just to like get a signature from them. But just to go there to buy cards, I don't think I would.
So a little bit. So before, let's let the audience know who was there, like what was happening at the event. They were doing a bunch of like auctions for a bunch of like football helmets and jerseys, and they did like a raffle, and they gave away a bunch of stuff. And there were some notable people that came there, like Jalen Coker from the Panthers. There was Jesse, the actor from Jesse from the show, came there and gave autographs. There was also Batgirl and a couple other people, other big names, people, other football players came there as well, getting out, going around, hanging out, giving autographs to people. So it was a pretty cool event having all those people come to the event. But the $25 still is rough for people that, like, let's say someone wants to bring their family. Let's say 4 or 5 people. That's over $100 just to get in. There was no kid discount. It was $25. So like they're already $100 down the drain. So it's kind of limiting like all the other people and just limited to like more people that are wanting to spend more. Maybe they were thinking people would be willing to pay it to get autographs. But and meet those people. But then when they have to come in, they have to pay an additional cost to get the autograph. It wasn't included, and it's usually about 25, 30. So right off the bat, they're down $50 if they were to go over there and get the autograph. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, it's like as a vendor, when you're paying all that money, we paid $300 for a table, and then to have like what we would expect with that is a lot of people coming in. So then to put that $25 price tag in front of it, that limited so much traffic, in my opinion. So I hope. I don't know. I hope they improve that going forward. But overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Picked up some cool things. But while we were at the show, Andrew, you decided to give out a pack to someone, and they were so give us that story.
Okay. So I had like $7 cash in my pocket, and we were talking to this kid, and he was master setting perfect order. And I was like, you know what? I want to give this kid a pack. He's hunting for specific cards, and we didn't have those cards. So I wanted to help him out, and maybe he pulls something from perfect order to help out his journey. So then he goes ahead and opens it. And we find that there's no perfect order cards in the pack. And we were all just confused, like, what's happening? Because in my mind, I thought this came from the booster box. So I was thinking in my head, like, oh, wow, we had a whole booster box that got scammed. And we were actually giving those away on Whatnot, too. Like, this was like, in my mind, I thought this was a fresh booster box that we had packs from that we had left over from Whatnot. So in my mind, we're like, holy crap. Like, not only did this kid get a fake pack, but maybe like all the packs that we gave away on Whatnot could have been fake. But then I would remember like, hey, we were opening them live. No one would complain. So I was like, where did we get these packs? But yeah, it was a very sad situation because I really wanted that kid to open a pack. And we find out all these packs ended up being resealed, not only perfect order. And by the way, who the heck is resealing perfect order packs? Like, let's get that out of the way. Like, all the time and effort to reseal packs, they pick perfect order. No one wants perfect order. It's a very niche thing. Like maybe Destined Rivals. We also had some Destined Rival packs resealed as well. But it's just wild. It's wild. But also, by the way, this was the first pack. No one bought the packs. All of them were, that was the first pack we actually gave away and sold of the individual packs. So no one else got anything resealed. We checked everything right after. There was some confusion about that when I posted that short, but I thought I made it well known, but I just wanted to stick that out there. But yeah, I love to see what you guys think about it.
Yeah, so to your point, we started trying to figure out like, okay, how did it happen? So we started checking all of our booster boxes. All of them look legit. And then we started going through like the inventory that we had bought. And we discovered all the packs that were resealed all came from one deal that we did. And the deal was we met this guy who had a bunch of vintage cards and a bunch of sealed. And we bought all his vintage and we bought all his sealed. But a lot of his sealed was just individual packs, which, the guy seemed trustworthy. Didn't seem like he was trying to scam us. So we didn't investigate as deeply as we should have. So that's a fault on our fault. Like that is our fault. So we ended up buying like Surging Sparks packs, Destined Rival pack, Perfect Order packs. Every pack from this guy was resealed. And what's funny is the same guy sent me a message on Facebook Marketplace with a picture of more sealed product that he was trying to sell us. I've just ignored the message at this point. Like we're not going to buy from this guy anymore. And we're probably not going to buy like individual loose packs anymore because that burned us really hard. Very frustrating. But you probably could see like I literally went through every loose pack. We cracked every one of them. I even went through some that looked like they were not a problem and verified that they were not a problem, so we could narrow it down to like for sure it was all the ones from this guy. So we've taken all those off now, but very frustrating, pretty big loss on our end to have all that stuff be resealed. And it's sad that people are doing that. Like it's super annoying that people are doing the resealing. So Adam, what's your take on it?
Yeah, it was just a terrible situation for sure. There was like 4 different packs types we bought: the Perfect Order, Destined Rivals, Mega Evolutions, and then I forget the 4th one that we also got.
Journey Together.
Which one?
Yeah, Journey Together.
Journey Together. Yeah, some of those packs, they're like almost $10 each, and if we're buying them at 80%, 70, 80%, that's a lot of money lost for sure.
Yeah.
And
we did get a lot of junk cards though, like in the repack.
A lot of bulk cards.
That's the pack.
But
there was one resealed that only had 7 cards in it. Like,
yeah.
it's crazy.
It's really
Oh,
crazy, really crazy. And what I
that
just
is
keep
hard.
thinking is, I mean, there's definitely some people out there doing it on purpose, just trying to scam people. But like the people that are getting scammed, they don't know that they got scammed, you know? So they go out and trade their packs out or even open them and trade all their cards and whatnot. And then once someone eventually finds out that it's like a fake card or a fake pack, like sealed, resealed or something, then like it really hurts. It hurts everyone.
I'm just so thankful that, Andrew, you figured this out early on before any of those packs actually sold.
Yeah.
Because like that would have been the worst thing is if any of those sold. So it was we were able to like pull them all out, investigate everything. Very thankful that that was a thing. It hurts that we took that loss on it, but we learned. Like it's a learning, and we got really good at like trying to investigate the packs now to tell if they've been resealed or not. Because they did a really good job at resealing these, to be honest. Like there is very little hints that they had been resealed, but you could start picking up a couple little minor flaws that if you look closely enough, you're like, oh, this one, because there was some, Adam, you were like, I think this one's good, I think this one's good. I would look at it and I'm like, I see a little thing right here, I don't know, and then we'd open it and it was resealed. So
Yeah.
super unfortunate. But moving on, one of the other things that we wanted to chat about, distribution. Let's talk about sports for a second on distribution, and we'll talk about Pokemon. So one of the things that we want to do this year is we want to open up a physical location, and we want to have a card shop. And the more I start digging into what it takes to get distribution, there are companies like Topps, for example, that do sports. They've really locked it down now where they're favoring breakers over shops. So it's going to be very hard to actually get distribution. And what makes this very challenging for me is that is really the lifeblood of a local card store. Like the margins on singles is very low. And you know, if you do end up having to sell it online, you end up with maybe a 10% margin, which is just not something you can survive a business on. So with Topps locking down distribution, Pokemon still allowing distribution, but being very hard to get approved for it. You know, they really do want a physical location. There's probably a lot of like people applying. It's just going to be hard to get the distribution. And even the people that we meet that do have distribution, you're so limited on what you get. You know, you may do good because you get a case of booster boxes, but you can't survive off of one case of booster boxes. You actually need, you need more inventory than that. So what do you guys think? We'll start with you, Adam. What do you think on the distribution side? Like, maybe the better question here is breakers seem to be being favored specifically in a lot of these cases. And if you go back even just a few years ago, you could have an online store and get distribution for sports and Pokemon. You just can't do that anymore. So what's your take?
Yeah, it really does hurt. It hurts a lot. And I don't really get it too much. Like if I was Pokemon, I'd kind of want to just send out a bunch of products, you know, not overprint stuff, of course, but allow a bunch of shops to open up and sell their stuff so people get more into Pokemon. And especially with Pokemon like getting more and more popular recently, like I don't really see why they won't do that. And it really does hurt everyone, all the businesses for sure.
Yeah, I kind of wish, you're seeing like Pokemon sold at like Walgreens, CVS, Walmart, Target, and those make sense to a certain degree. But why not favor local card stores that are what I would say are like the lifeblood of a community to get people to play? I really wish that we could somehow shift back into that direction a little bit more. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, honestly, it is pretty rough because we were talking about like how do we get like the business to work and operations. Like you said, like the margins on single cards are good. The margins are where distribution is at. And actually, I was talking to a vendor that has distribution before like the deadline where it makes it much harder to get. And he was saying like, yeah, no, honestly, distribution is like been very helpful because they get an MSRP or very low to market, and then they can go to card shows and sell it for market. Like that's guaranteed profit. And like, I mean, they sell it at their shop as well. But like business wise, what I've learned is like you save a percent of them, you hold on to them for a couple years, and then you eventually flip it. And then you sell the rest of them either at card shows or at your local shop for profit. And those profit margins are needed to have a successful business. So like when Pokemon and sports related, like you can't get distribution, it makes it where more companies that already have it have a monopoly over the industry, over places that are trying to start up going or trying to get the shop up. Like you're saying, building like a community, because we want to build up the community where we're at and maybe eventually expand, of course. But like it's hard to when we're not certain or don't know if we can get distribution. We can't have those margins, and those margins are needed to run a successful card shop and business. So
Yeah, because I mean, the reality is, even when you're at a card show, We do a lot of like mid tier to higher tier cards. We also have a lot of lower end stuff. But you really do need to move some of the bigger stuff at a decent margin to actually make the money. So let's say like you're running. We were doing the math on this. If you've got a location, you've got a couple employees, just to break even, you need to profit, $10,000. And that's like bare minimum, just to break even. That's like not even pulling too much money off the table for like buying collections or anything like that. It's really pulling nothing off. So, you're probably looking at needing to move $100,000 in singles every month just to be able to cover your base cost. And that is hard to do unless you are just a massive, massive town where you are like the center of everything. The sealed product really is the thing that draws people in. People get excited about it. And it's fun to crack. Like, you really want people to be able to come in and get it at a reasonable price. So like if you're a local card store and you can sell perfect order for $70, but you're paying $40 on the distribution side, that's a nice margin for you. And then you have other card games like Star Wars Unlimited where, they come out. I don't know what the distribution price is on there, but I have to assume when they dump in the market, they're going under what the local card stores are actually paying. So it's a really interesting space to be in. But you're right. Like, I think the long-term play is you have to be in the game a long time. I think things are hot right now. I think things will probably peter out. I bet you distribution will be easier probably 3 or 4 years from now. Everything's a cycle. There'll be a point where it'll be a lot easier to get back on the list of distribution. The other thing I had thought about was like buying an existing card company that already has distribution and then being able to take their distribution license and kind of build up from that. So that was like another thought. Because there's a lot of card companies, a lot of companies that are failing for whatever reason. If you could take over what they're doing and merge it into our business, CardLanding. So any other thoughts on that before we jump to the next topic?
I do love your buying idea, like buying just someone's like company out to get the distribution. I didn't think about it that way, and that could actually work for a lot of people too. Like some people are trying to retire, some like some people
Exactly.
are just like failing, some people just want to like get out of the business, and like that would like, give a lot of people the chance to actually make it if they can get the distribution.
Yeah, you just have to look through and make sure it does transfer properly. That's the piece that I wouldn't fully know, like what their contract looks like. But I think that that could be a way to at least, for a new company up and coming to get the relationships you need there. All right, Andrew, any other thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I definitely do like the idea. It's going to be interesting to see how the market changes in the next couple of years, and be interesting for us to see how we figure out how to get distribution for when it comes to our shop, and hopefully we can. Because I honestly, it's going to be much harder if you're not able to get that when it comes to opening and maintaining the shop. So hopefully we can.
Yep, agreed. Yeah,
Wait, don't go anywhere. I'll get back straight to the video, but I gotta let you guys know about our website and our eBay. Website and eBay helps us keep continuing this business running as smoothly as possible. Our website has Pokemon sports, mystery packs, all that you would need when it comes to collecting, as well as our eBay with thousands of cards on there. So if you guys don't mind checking it out, at least down below in the description, that would mean the world to me. But I'll get straight back to the video. I appreciate you guys so much.
and I thought about like trying to build relationships with people that do have it, and then trying to just work out a guaranteed like we wouldn't get the margin of distribution, but we let them buy, and then we buy from them, and they're just guaranteed a buyer for it. So there's a lot of like different angles that we could go at there.
So one thing I also was thinking about, like I know Pokemon and like sports is kind of locked down, but maybe if we can get into other areas like Disney Lorcana, Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe One Piece.
Oh yeah.
One Piece is
Yep.
kind of like teetering out a little bit, but it's still popular. So like
Yep.
those other companies we can maybe try to get into as like
Yep.
a start. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, we would definitely need we got to get distribution for anything that we can. It's just going to be a lot of work to get all that set up. And it's going to be a lot of cash flows because like, to hold on to this distribution for like Magic the Gathering, they may be like, hey, you need to buy $10,000 worth of product. And you're like, well, I hope the set's good because otherwise that $10,000 is going to, you know what I mean? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's jump over to the next thing. Andrew, this is something you brought up. There's this like funny thing going on with Jason Page. If you're not familiar with Jason Page, he's the one that sang the Pokemon theme song, and I just think the scandal's kind of dumb overall, and it's blown up a little bit too much. But Andrew, what do you think on this one? You want to give a rundown of what the scandal is first, and then your thoughts on it?
Yeah, basically how I understand it is like this kid came up to Jason Page and they pretty much did a trade where the kid traded his Gengar, first edition Gengar, to Jason Page for his autograph. And if you don't know, his autograph, he charges about like $70. And the Gengar was like market for the Gengar was 150. But what the media's not saying is that it's a damaged card. But like still though, like he's a kid and it's its autograph. Like I don't know, it's a weird situation. People are like upset with Jason Page saying that he scammed the kid because a lot of cases his autograph doesn't make a card valuable to an extent. But then the people are saying the Gengar that the kid had that's market 150 is actually damaged, so its market is actually $70. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. People are freaking out about it.
I think it's dumb. If the kid was happy and he was good with it, and so also to be clear, like Jason Page did actually trade him a card that was signed that was in a slab. So, but it was a
fake
Pokemon
card.
Everybody's saying it was a fake Pokemon card, but technically it's a graded Pokemon card. But the company that graded it also made the card and graded it a 10. But like outside of all that, it's a cool little showpiece, right? It's like slabbed up. It's signed. It looks cool. And the kid traded a damaged Gengar that really was beat up pretty hard. So I don't know. I think people are overblowing this out of proportion. I don't know what they expected him to just not make a deal with the kid or to just give it to him for free. And maybe give it to him for free, but the kid might have wanted that card. I don't know. All right, Adam, what do you think?
So personally, there does come a point where like if like the prices are really crazy out of control, like someone does a trade like that, then that's wrong, But for this, like if the card was actually damaged and the Gengar was about $70 and his signature costs about $70, and I'm just valuing like that card with the slab as basically kind of like nothing, since it's not like a real Pokemon card, but it's like cool. It's a cool card that I would like to have myself too, even like it's a cool Charizard. But like personally, if I wanted to trade a card for his signature and I really liked him, like I would be totally fine doing that. But it definitely depends on the person, like how much you actually value his signature and how much you actually value the card that you're trading. Like that kid might not care about his Gengar at all and just wanted like the signature, and that'd be totally fine as long as he didn't get screwed over for it, like that's where my
right. I mean, there's been lots of times at shows where kids come up with like trades that we don't want to do, like we would not financially do, or kids come up like there's a girl that came up who collects Lucario, and that's one of the Pokemon I collect, and I gave her one of my Lucario for free. Like it was like no trade, just to help her with her Lucario collection. It's like sometimes you do want to help kids. So in my mind, when I look at this, it's like, would I have wanted to trade that slabbed up, even if it's a 101, even though it's a fake Pokemon, it's kind of like a cool showpiece. Would I would have wanted to trade that for a damaged Gengar? Probably not. I would probably have been able to like get something better for that. So if I was Jason, I'd probably be thinking, oh, this is a nice trade to make for this kid. He's got this damaged Gengar. It lets him do like a trade and get some experience on it. I don't know. Andrew, do you have any other thoughts on this?
My thinking is like if the kid is good with the trade and Jason Page is good with the trade and both of them are okay with it, and the kid like family knows about the trade, like they went to the kid's family and was like, hey, like, are you good with this trade? And they say they're good with the trade, then I don't really see too much of a problem with it. Like I get like if we're missing any information or details, like please let us know. Like this is the information that we have. But like if the kid knew it was fake and it's just a cool showpiece and it's a cool looking card that he just wanted, then I don't see a problem with the deal. I mean, if all sides were good with it. So
all right. So let's talk about some of the things that you guys have picked up that you're excited about. Andrew, I'll start with you because you have it in your background back there.
Picked up a lot of Ascended Heroes ETBs. I actually sold a good amount of my collection to this guy. I did over $6,000 sale, and then I talked to the one guy had like distribution. I worked out a deal, and I got a bunch of acrylics from them, as well as a bunch of Ascended ETBs and Pokemon centers. I think Ascended is going to be an awesome set. I mean, it is an awesome set. We opened a ton last night. We opened a ton of packs. I should have not done that, but but yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think that's what I'm going to be putting my money into for collecting, because I think Ascended is an awesome set, and I could see it as like something I can flip to get more Pokemon in the next couple of years as well. I actually made a video about it. I saw a couple comics that are like, oh, we'll see, like how it does, and I mean this is like all speculation, of course. Like I mean, what do I know? I made a video about like why I think Ascended's gonna be like worth the same as like 151 or even better. But I mean, we'll see. I think it's an awesome set. That's what I invested into. It's great, and I have all the pulls in a box over there with all the cards. We opened like over $1,000 worth of sealed products last night, so we're gonna make a video off that.
So here's the dangerous part. You've got all that sitting there. You're going to be laying in bed and you're going to be thinking about cracking it to see what's
I
in it.
know. That's what happened last night. I was like, oh, I kind of want to open something because I look over and it's just this wall of Ascended. I'm like, man, I want to open this thing. I want to open this so bad. So
Yeah. So you guys, every week you're going to see his Ascended pile get smaller and smaller and smaller until he has like 2 boxes left.
You gotta get the big hits, man. You gotta keep pulling until you get something.
I want to get that Pikachu, man. I gotta get that Pikachu.
It's so hard. The pull rate is so hard in those things, honestly.
I literally watched this guy do a challenge where he cannot leave somewhere until he pulls a certain card from Ascended. And he opened hundreds of ETBs, like hundreds of thousands of ETBs. I watched this last night for hours. He was there for days and he didn't pull it. He still didn't pull it. He literally took out all the ETBs in the area and he didn't pull the card. And he only pulled one SIR, only one out of thousands of ETBs. I'm not even exaggerating, hundreds of thousands. When I seen that video, I was like, man, I really should have not opened it. Like, that's not bad. That was true gambling, honestly, at that point. Like, holy crap.
All right, how about you, Adam? What are the cool pickups you've done?
So at the card show that we vended at, that we talked about earlier, I just grabbed a bunch of EVs and EV Evolutions I didn't have yet. There's a couple cool vintage ones I haven't seen before, and I was like, I have to get. I mostly just bought like the small damaged ones that are usually worth a lot of money if they're near mint, but I just want the card. Like if the front looks good, I'm good, you know? And from last night's breaking, me and Adrian broke a bunch of packs like you was talking about earlier, and here's a few right now. I got a Rose's Encouragement, this dude, and then just a bunch of EXs. I kind of like these EXs too to play with. I've been playing a lot of the card game online recently since we've been cracking a bunch of stuff open all the time. I just been cashing in all the QR codes. I still got this huge pile I need to cash into all QR
That's
codes.
so awesome.
Oh man, yeah, it's a lot of fun getting back into playing again.
It really is a fun game. If you guys aren't playing Pokemon, it's fun.
It is for sure fun.
Some stuff that Andrew pulled over there.
And
all the hits.
And mostly, mostly for me, I'm just saving most of my money for the 30th anniversary boxes because I'm really excited about the EV Evolutions in there. And I doubt I'll ever be able to get anything at MSRP price, like any of the 30th anniversary edition like ETBs at MSRP. But if I can get each one for like $100, I'd buy like $1,000 worth probably and just rip them all, see if I can get anything cool. I'm really excited about the set.
Some of the preview cards for it look pretty dang amazing.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
The Pikachus I didn't really care too much about. I mean, they look kind of cool, but I didn't really care too much about those guys. The Mewtwo kind of looks cool. It's just the EV Evolutions that I care about. That's all I want.
That's funny. All right. So this is one of my most recent Pokemon pickups. This is a Lucario X. I actually really like this card. It's in CGC 8.5. I picked this up for $150. The last sale on it was like $220. So I think, but it doesn't move often. 8.5 is kind of a weird grade. This is the older label, but I really do. A big Lucario collector. I picked up a higher end like Kobe. This is a 1996 Topps Kobe Bryant in a PSA 8. These actually are pretty low population. And when you're putting money into sports cards, I'm a big fan of putting the majority of my money into cards that I know are going to have some longevity to them. But it actually, I mean, it's a pretty clean looking like Kobe card, honestly. And I think this card goes for around $500 or so. Then I picked up a 2025 Cooper Flag in a PSA 10. This is a refractor version, and I added this to my collection. I paid $1,450 for it. This card goes anywhere between like $1,400 and $1,800. So this card is kind of like a speculation card, hoping that Cooper Flag goes up. And then I picked up a 2018 rookie Shohei Ohtani with the 1983 Topps variant. Super cool chrome card, honestly. Very excited about that one in a PSA 10. I did end up selling my update 2 Shohei Ohtani rookie card, which I had picked up for $400, and it goes for about $1,000 now. So I sold that a little bit under the $1,000, but so I moved that out. And then I've been trying to move all of my cards into like bigger cards. So I'm trying to stay $500 and more because I just have so many like lower end slabs. Like if you were to look at my desk here, they're just full of like lower end slabs. So I'm hoping over time I'll start consolidating into less slabs that are worth more in my collection. All right. Any other thoughts, guys, before we close out this episode?
Oh, one last thing I just remembered. You know, all the actors and whatnot that came in, like the original like Jesse actor for the old Pokemon TV show and the Batgirl. So the Batgirl's from the 60s TV show, and I got her signature. Yep, that's all I want
Yep.
to say. Yep.
Yeah, so we went over to the comic book guy, bought some comic books,
Yep.
and you had her sign it. That was cool.
It was really cool.
She was season 3, right?
Yeah,
Is that what it
season
was?
3. Yep.
Season 3 Batgirl back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Mhm.
I forget the time frame.
I think it was
That's cool.
1967.
Okay, late 60s. But yeah, she was super nice. Very, very, very nice. It was super fun. All right, Andrew, how about you? Any closing thoughts?
Do not rip Phantasmal booster boxes. It is not worth it. It is not worth it.
The ball cards, though, they're fun to play with.
They are fun to play with, but that was, oh my gosh, I should have not ripped that. I have some regrets. We pulled an SIR, but it wasn't the Dragon, the Charizard. It's like Charizard or bust in that set. It was fun to rip though.
Yeah, we got a little bit rip happy, you know. We started off with 2 perfect orders, then we added 4 more perfect orders, and then we did 2 ascended, and then a Phantasmal, and then we're like, okay,
White
that's probably too
Flare.
much.
Dang, you guys ripped all that?
Yeah,
I
we
think I
did.
fell asleep while you guys were doing
I
that.
ripped my
the
own
table
2
was just
personal.
full.
Yeah,
That's
Oh my gosh.
crazy.
because in my head I
Ari's
was
gonna
thinking
edit that
perfect
video.
order won't go up too much anyways, and I want more cards to play with.
Yeah,
So
I think
So the perfect order will go up, but I don't think it's going to be like a killer set like Ascended. Like I think Ascended's going to probably triple what it's at now. Is my thought.
Yeah, but for
As
like,
long as the cards hold prices.
Yeah.
Perfect order though, as more and more it's opened, it will be a slow tick up. I don't think there's any harm in holding on to that box, honestly.
yeah. Mhm.
All right, gentlemen, it's been fun. And if you guys don't mind dropping a like, a comment, subscribe, we're trying to build this up to be the #1 podcast in collectibles, like everything cards, sports, TCG, anything. We kind of are following it all and be along for our journey as we try to build a business in this that allows us to do what we love as our full-time job. To take care, everyone. Till next episode. See ya.
See ya.
peace.